we might come back to buy some gear. We'll see. Man, I need to stop yawning. Where's my coffee? Maybe my coffee will wake me up. One can hope.
I can see a boat way out there. Hey! Land ho!
Quit it. You're so embarrassing.
Okay. Hi, who are you? My father was supposed to have joined me on this trip to Ordis, but something urgent came up and now here I am, alone. Alone in a big, unknown city. What am I supposed to do now? She looks very unique for a random NPC. The city is enormous. What's a girl to do? Well, you good luck with that. You look very fancy and unique. Okay, I don't want to go in Kleist yet. Let's go in here. Hotel Hortensia. Yo. Our hotel is owned by the Cayenne House and is the most prestigious hotel in the Empire. The western rooms have an ocean view and we offer full course meals. I wonder how much a suite costs. I have no idea. We proudly call ourselves the best hotel in the Empire. Please, enjoy your stay. You call yourselves that, but are you actually that? Or is that just something you like to say? Welcome to Hotel Hortensia. Oh, you're just students. And there are some commoners in your group, too. I can't really say you're the right clientele for our establishment. Yep, can't say this is the best hotel in the country. They kind of suck. What, are commoners not allowed to stay here or something? No, that isn't the case exactly, but he seems annoyed. I'm annoyed. In order to stay at this hotel, you used to need an invitation from a baron or higher. That rule was abolished after the Civil War, but I'm sure they have mixed feelings about it. Everything in our hotel is top of the line. The summer festival is going on right now. I don't know if we have any rooms for students. Well, if you were to stay at our hotel, I'm sure you would be really happy. I don't think I would be. Hi. That is a giant bottle of wine. Oh my god. You could kill a man with that bottle. So, how about that information? As a noble of the Kreutzen province, I'm unfamiliar with the political situation here. I will need the Marquis to help me with my business in the future. Okay. Yes, we are business partners, but this situation isn't ideal. Ever since that dog of the government assumed his position, all right, good luck with that. This looks like the same layout of that hotel in Heimdall or wherever. Not Heimdall. Was it Heimdall? The one where we met the Anguis for the first time. Yes? Oh, I am right. Haha. That third hallway just, like, triggered me. Vita. Yes, that's her name. I blanked on her name for a second. All of the nobles seem to be in a rush. I hope that you all have a relaxing time at our hotel. If you need anything, please let me know. Okay. There's no one over here. Bye-bye. There is someone over here. All my husband talks about is his business. All he does is follow Count Carlyle around. He is the head of House Wagner, or Wagner, depends on how you want to say it. I wish he would show a little more dignity. I think Wagner sounds better, so we're going to go with that. That is all she has to say, though, so it doesn't even matter. We don't need to go this way. Man! I was like, oh, we finally get to see what's in one of these rooms, because we didn't get to in Heimdall, and we still don't get to because Reen is a killjoy. Whatever. Hello, ma'am. Kleist Mall only opened recently, but it's clean, has a great selection, and most importantly, it's cheap. I plan on heading back there today. I assumed so, because you're standing right in front of it, staring it down. What a weirdo. RF store, Manista's bookstore, potentially a security guard. Wow, this is such a nice store. I guess they don't call it a town of nobles for nothing. Oh, actually, this is Kleist Mall. It opened half a year ago, and if anything, it's more tailored for commoners. Really? Yes. Commoners have also been showing an interest in luxury goods lately. Kleist Mall's pretty popular from what I've heard. You can purchase anything with a 5% discount at Kleist Mall. Sepith exchange rates are higher at the RF store on the second floor. Ooh, I'm happy I didn't exchange our Sepith masses yet then. That's exciting. Okay. Books. One of those we're never gonna know what those rooms look like. Boo. Boo. Oh, I just stopped by out of curiosity, but this place isn't too bad. It seems like they have all the proper novels here. Oh, this is ones of the series? Are you okay? Is he okay? One of the series I like. They've got the latest entry. Guess I'll pick it up. Collection here isn't bad. My father hates this place, so I have to come here in secret. Okay. Hello, I would like to... I'll talk to you and then I'll shop. It's a good selection, right? We get the newest publications the same day they come out in the capital. Plus, we're working with publishing companies to schedule events such as autograph signings. Our sales are on fire. Gifts that come with magazines and autograph signings. I have other ideas too. We're on fire. Anything else? Nope, that is it. I will purchase. I already have Proverbs Fierce Fire, apparently. You can buy the black records? Okay. That's weird. I will take the Immoral Hero Part 3. I already have this. I don't understand how you have that. Anyway, moving on. That's weird. Rosine, I found you the black records.
Hello there, Reen. You found some new records?
Sure. Let's go with that. Yeah, I'll send them to you.
Very well. I'll start deciphering them. Leave it to me.
You won't have to wait long for an update. Okay. Whatever. Let's read the Immoral Hero before I forget about it. I feel like, oh, we never read part 2. Ah. crap. I was about to say, I don't even remember what this was about. What was this about? Protect my hometown. Mark was received praise. I vaguely remember this. My bad. I didn't realize we'd never read part 2. I feel like at this point I should just read part 1, 2, and 3 because I do not remember this story. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I'm getting a drink first. I just don't want to read it and have no idea what they're talking about in parts 2 and 3. Anyway. Birth of a hero. It's probably about an immoral hero. Now, what could give you that impression? How could you possibly know that? Maybe it's about the most moral hero ever. Anyway, a long time ago, a boy named Mark lived with Shino, his younger brother. Mark constantly sought attention and desired to become a great swordsman to protect his hometown. So he devoted himself to sword training. Shino was very shy and looked up to Mark, following him around and imitating everything he did. As time went on, Mark indeed became a great swordsman, with strength easily surpassing all others. One day, a large monster ambushed the town, and the townsfolk asked for soldiers to protect them. And while some people fled in terror, Mark stood strong and headed toward the monster. "I'll protect my hometown," Mark cried valiantly. His sword was not fit to dispatch the monster, but he refused to give up and attacked the monster with all his might. By the time the soldiers arrived, the monster had turned tail and ran, and Mark proudly stood there on the battlefield, covered in blood and gashes. Thanks to Mark's heroic efforts, not a single person was injured, and peace was bestowed upon the town once again. A mother clutching her baby thanked Mark, for she lived close to where the monster had appeared. "Thank you, Mark," the mother said. "You saved me, and my child. I will tell her stories of your heroics when she's older." The baby smiled at Mark. Mark would never forget her smile. Everyone in the town praised Mark's bravery and regarded him as the local town hero. Happy that his hard work was paying off, Mark devoted himself to his sword training even more. After that day, Mark always received praise and adoration from the townsfolk wherever he and Shino went. He was given special treatment at popular establishments and received gifts from many people. Shino was awed by how much people admired his brother. "How do I become a hero?" he asked one day. "It's simple, Shino," Mark responded. "First, you get strong, like me. Then, when you defeat a truly horrible monster, you'll get recognition and finally become a hero." Shino nodded at his brother's advice. "Okay, I'll work hard to become strong and be a hero too." Something had changed within Shino the day Mark became a hero. It seemed as if Mark always did everything right, while Shino was destined to fail. Shino had given in to this idea, but had given up on himself and his dreams in the process. But today, Shino had finally realized his dream, which was to become a hero. He would no longer live in his brother's shadow, but instead devote himself to becoming exactly like his brother. And from that day on, Shino studied under his brother's tutelage in order to become a hero. Mark continued his heroics in felling monsters whenever they scourged the town. With each passing day, Mark's swordsmanship grew, and eventually he was able to tear common monsters asunder without batting an eye. After battles, Mark would always wipe the blood off his sword in a stunning fashion. Okay, which gave Shino a sense of pride and the drive he needed to improve his own swordsmanship. I'm sorry, that's weird. Oh my gosh, he just wiped the blood off his sword in such a dashing fashion. Oh, I'm in love. I cannot imagine that. That's weird. However, all the admiration and praise Mark received finally went to his head, and he came to the conclusion that he was superior to everyone. "I'm the only one defeating monsters around here," Mark arrogantly told the townsfolk. Giving me the same treatment as those too cowardly to face evil is an insult to my heroism. As Shino didn't know any heroes but Mark, he began to believe that what his brother said was true, and this pushed his desire to be a hero even more. Okay. Adoration Twisted, Part 2. One of your worst qualities in these games is you don't read the books. You don't think you've read one since the Sky Arc. I have been really bad with reading the books. And in this game, I decided not only were we going to read all the books, but we were also going to play the minigame, which is also something I've not been doing in this series. So we're doing it. It's gonna happen. Part 2. Adoration Twisted. Mark continued to defeat monsters every day to protect his status as the local town hero. However, eventually the monsters stopped appearing, meaning that Mark couldn't perform heroic feats as often, and he started losing fans and receiving less praise. Fine, Mark said haughtily. If killing monsters here isn't enough, I'll just do something even greater. He believed if he showed the townsfolk even bigger and stronger heroics, they'd treat him like a hero once more. So Mark started venturing into the forest to dispatch monsters there in order to boast about his strength and seek more praise. Shino followed him every time in awe of his brother's feats. But that's like their home. Like the humans live in town, the monsters live in the forest. Just leave them alone. That's their habitat. Mark is kind of a jerk. One day, a thief appeared in town. Mark easily killed the thief, but believing that wasn't enough, Mark ventured outside the town and killed all the thieves he could track down. Thanks to Mark's heroics, nothing would ever be stolen anymore. And Shino continued to follow his brother and watch him kill without hesitation. Learning how to become a sociopath, love to see it. Or some kind of crazy. On another day, a burglar came to town, but Mark tailed him and killed him. However, Mark wasn't satisfied with just the burglar's death, so he tracked down the burglar's family and killed them as well. Oh my god. While Mark was able to protect the townsfolk from crime, the town itself became known as a ruthless and barbaric community because of Mark's violent justice. I feel like that should have quotes around it. And the more Mark brandished his sword, the less the townsfolk regarded him as a hero. Fearful of Mark's brutality, the townsfolk distanced themselves from the murderous swordsman. Why are they shunning me, the local town hero and their savior? Mark was confused, but didn't bother asking anyone's opinion, not even that of Shino. He was too proud of himself, believing himself to be the perfect being. I know what I have to do. I must become even stronger and kill more enemies. Surely they'll praise me and call me a hero once again. And so Mark remained blind as to why people no longer considered him a hero. Obsessed with being lauded as a hero again, he pursued his sword training once more. Okay, Part 3, Successor, 8 pages. Ugh. The townsfolk were too terrified to stand up to Mark. I'm grateful to Mark for saving our town, one local remarked, but if I say or do the wrong thing, he'll assume I'm an enemy and have my head. The others shared in his sentiment and started praising Mark again, both out of fear and to calm his wrath. Mark seemed satisfied with this. So you finally remembered how important a hero is, he arrogantly said to a crowd. Exterminating monsters is simply pest control. You see, if you don't kill them all as soon as they appear, they'll multiply and wreak havoc. They must be destroyed, and I want you all to help me. One day, Mark was tracking a kidnapper that had been spotted in town, with Shino following not too far behind. Mark rallied some of the townsfolk who helped him uncover the kidnapper's identity and decided to catch the criminal in the act. Mark stealthily tailed the kidnapper and waited for the latter to approach a victim. Then he pounced like a lion that had caught its prey. The kidnapper was dead before he even hit the ground. Mark grinned, proud of his heroic efforts. He then extended a hand to the kidnapper's victim. You saw that, didn't you? You're safe now. I killed the enemy. The victim was a young girl. Mark recognized her as the smiling baby he had saved all those years ago when he had first become a hero. But her face showed no traces of that bright smile. Instead, she stood there dumbfounded and covered in the kidnapper's blood. Dad? Why? Mark was confused. He had been expecting words of gratitude. He looked down at the dead, bleeding man and noticed a colorful bouquet and a birthday card. Oh my God. What's going on? Mark asked the stunned girl. I killed the man that kidnapped you. The girl stared at Mark, her pale face that was initially full of fright, now full of hatred. Murderer? You murderer! What did my father do to deserve this? Mark was shocked at the young girl's words and couldn't believe someone of her age was filled with such rage. Saving this girl as a baby had started Mark's career as a hero. He felt a chill down his spine. Without saying anything, he turned around and left the girl with her dead father, Shino following close behind. Mark had no idea at the time that the kidnapper was the girl's father. Due to a family argument, the father had to sneak into town to see his daughter, which was where the kidnapping rumor started. And with her birthday drawing close, he had been looking for the perfect opportunity to deliver his gifts to her. Mark fled the town, wiping the sweat off his face. He'd killed many monsters up until this point, but it wasn't until the girl called him a murderer that he realized he'd been killing other humans. I've been killing monsters, not people. Killing monsters makes people happy, so it's the right thing to do. Right? He wondered aloud, trying to convince himself. Shino shrugged. You took down the enemy, so why don't we go tell the townsfolk? He asked. Mark felt unnerved. Why don't you tell them instead of me? He requested. But why, though? Shino asked casually. After all, you're always rushing to brag about your heroics to them as soon as you can, anyway. Mark felt even more unnerved at Shino's detached words. The girl's voice started echoing inside Mark's head. Murderer. You murderer. What did my father do to deserve this? Mark felt pure terror for everything he'd done and finally confessed to Shino. I'm going to stop pretending to be a hero. If you want to become a hero, you should. With that, Mark handed his prized sword, which was still dripping with blood, to his younger brother. Shino grinned, his eyes alight with alarming joy. Really? Then I'll be a hero in your place. Unable to hide his elation at finally achieving his dream of becoming a hero, Shino accepted the sword and plunged it into Mark's heart without a moment's hesitation. I killed the monster, so that makes me a hero. Doesn't it, Mark? Oh my God. Shino beamed as his older brother fell to the ground. He wiped the blood off the sword and sheathed it with pride. He was now the spitting image of Mark. All that needs to happen now is for the townsfolk to see that I'm the hero. As Mark watched Shino joyously stride into town, he repented his deadly sins and closed his eyes for the last time. Okay. We are reading a very interesting novel